would like to greet Professor Edwin Balila, as our main keynote speaker. I truly honored to welcome you here, to give us insight about the research using the Smart PLS. And I also would like to thank Bu Lydia, as one of our moderator and speaker as well, and then for all the students, and the participants. Let me start this webinar by briefly introducing Master of Biomanagement. So Master of Biomanagement is part of iSB, which is the School of Business. And I3L is the campus, that specializes in life science. So in all bio-related fields. So for those of you who are interested to pursue the career, especially in life science fields, can consider master's program in biomanagement. So what is this Master of Biomanagement? So basically, it is an interdisciplinary program which combines life sciences and management together. So as a management, of course, you need to learn the 4 pillars of management. Marketing, finance, human resources, business strategy. Which also comes with the management skill sets. As a master, you also need to be equipped, in a research method and decision making in life science, and you will conduct project in life science to further sharpen down to complete your competencies. So this is what MBM program in iSB is about. So why choose a master in biomanagement program in iSB? So as you can see, we have been engaging actively to industries by involving students and faculties together to work on real project, real results, and real experiences with our business partners. So this way we will be able to prepare our students to work in the highly competitive business world. And then also we will do the project in various life science fields: healthcare, biotechnology, agriculture, food, medical nutrition, and etc. So we are also having an internship program as well. Then as the part of marketing strategy, it is very important for them to learn not only the book way, the book smart way. We also need to look at the real life, street way. That is also why MBM also equips students to apply and test marketing theories and decision using a simulation, so that way they can learn from their mistakes and successes. So in this way we are able to mirror the real business world. And this also this simulation also used by top business schools all over the globe. So you will also learn sustainable business strategy module by the Harvard University. So we will have all of these high quality module to equip our students so that they can further pursue their degree in the real world. So also as MBM is also we use English as our education and educational language. So we also have partners that are working together with us to do a double degree pathway, so you can get two degrees. One is from the iSB and the other one is from our partner universities, from Swiss and from UK. And as a master student, we will also have an exchange, not only from iSB to partner university, they also send in their partner, the partner university also send in their students to iSB. So we are two-way, not one-way. Why we need to do so? Because we can gain international network experience and exposure. And for example, like a cross-culture global collaboration project, where our instructor, Bu Lydia Karnadi, has won the best instructor Yeah, so iSB is also also widely recognized. Yeah, and then for the learning method, we have two way, but since it's pandemic, I think we do not have choice but to do the online courses. Yeah, but during the non-pandemic condition, we usually learn half online and half offline. Yeah, so our courses also ranges from all the 4 pillars of management. Yeah, project in life science, the research methods, which you also be this why you are attending this webinar. And we also have an elective course to further sharpen and to suit your needs, yeah, according to your career plan. Yeah, so if you ask about the career option for the master biomanagement, yeah, since we are focusing much more on the life science based industries like the healthcare, biotechnology, food processing, technology, agriculture, forestry, waste management, etc. So you are well suited, yeah, to fill in the position of middle up level, yeah, manager and above. Yeah, and if you ask the role model, we have yeah, quite a number. Yeah, these are the entrepreneur, yeah, which are good in both the biology part and the management part. Yeah, life science part and management part. Yeah, and our faculty also we have experiences in both field. Yeah, in the life science and in management part. Yeah, and we have um plenty of collaborators, plenty of industrial partners, which we are able to build up like a research platform, collaboration, and student internship. Yeah, so you will do it in the project in life science course, which is 6 SKS. Yeah, so that will be all for the introduction for the MBM. Yeah, for further information pertaining to MBM, feel free to ask us. We are happy to help whenever you have further inquiries. Yeah, thank you very much. I would like to return this to Miss Acha. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Hello. Thank you so much, Parichat, for the explanations of MBM program. And if you guys have any interest to enter MBM, you can directly contact to Parichat in his email, or you can directly contact to the admission of ITRL School of Business MBM. I mean, Dedi Gabriel. Okay. Thank you, Richard. And then we also have Bolivia Kanadi to explain to you just using of Smart PLS around the MBM student. Okay, Bolivia, the time is yours. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Azalia. Thanks for Pak Richard the introduction. What's this one for me? I mean that do I need to have this statistical sophisticated thing, and what's its applicability in the life science company? Yeah, so I would say that in business, yeah, I just recently joined the education. Previously, I'm a practitioner. I work in sales and marketing, in sales, and I would say that in many business case, we try to predict. Every time we try to predict or explore which action scenario we need to achieve our goal. Yeah, so that's the thing. And let's make it simple. Yeah, in this case, a simple case. So for example, as part of your business case challenge, you need to sell the I3L umbrella to your friends to generate some money, right? It's, of course, everything is all about money. You even study to have more money, right? Then logically, you will think what color, yeah? So this is a one variable, yeah? Remember statistic, we always talk about variable. So in here, you already have one variable, which is the umbrella sales, yeah? And then like I mentioned before, you would think, what color should this umbrella be? Yeah. So this is also another variable, which is the color of umbrella. And then right now, you know that France rose pink, yeah, is the newest color trend for females. So you would say that all your ladies friends will be crazy about this and you might get lots of sales. But then you would think again, how would the males react to this? Yeah, because if they hate it, then you would lose a significant amount of your future customers. After that, you might think what type of umbrella that you should purchase. The big golf umbrella, or is it the mini umbrella, or is it the new model like the reverse umbrella? Well, then you think again, oh yes, it's really depend what season right now. So because it's all depend on what people need. Yeah, what people need will be varied between the rainy season or the hot season. So then in here, that's also another variable. Yeah. Why you need to think about this? Because if it's the hot season, yeah, it might be interesting to add an extra layer in your umbrella, or even you want to have this UV protection as your unique features. Yeah. In this one, in marketing, we always talk about having a unique selling proposition. Yeah, so in here you see why it's all matter. Yeah, and from all this simple case, you notice that you have added lots of variable. See, yeah, it's so complex. And not to mention, you might also want to add endorser, whether it's a student community. Yeah, so in here, yes, see, there's lots of variable in here. Yeah, the need from the wet or hot season, it can be to this variable like color of umbrella preference, type of umbrella preference, and then, oh, sorry, I make a mistake on this one, spatial features, shape, and so on. Yeah, and it's also depend. It's moderated by gender. Yeah, so Prof. Edwin will talk about it later. What is moderator and so on. Yeah, and then it's not stop to there, right? There will be some more variable that you want to add. For example, do you want to add endorsers? So it's whether the students community or even the teachers. Yeah, another variable come in. And then you also think, do you need to socialize this? Do you need to advertise this in social media? Whether the social media presence is another thing, yeah. This is also another variable. So the variable become longer and longer. Yeah, you see in here, the variable become longer and longer. And then you might get a headache. And then the most significant driver, you will question this, yeah. What is the key driver variable to the umbrella sales? Yeah. So the good news is when it comes to predict or explore the relationship between several variables, then the structural equation modeling is the answer. And that's our topic today. Yeah, Prof. Edwin will give you further about this. But before you go into this, yeah, like Pak Richard mentioned, yeah, in MBM there are lots of courses that offer, because you need to structuralize your thought first, because you don't want to dump all that variable to be tested in this SAM, yeah, in this smart PLS. How you can reduce that variables? You can do that through your experience. Yeah, you take a job, you become a previously you have sold umbrella, or you could also use your education. That's why you need to have a course. Yeah, if you, for example, if you have learned about marketing, then you would know. Yeah, you already learned about what are the most important variables to understand your customers. That's very important for you to develop your models. Yeah. And then if you learn about marketing, you also will learn about the models of attitudes, beliefs, and intention to purchase. Yeah. And then you also know, yeah, you also been taught that since umbrella is a low involvement products, then basically you don't need this sophisticated model, and you only need to apply the low involvement product module, uh, the Lundberg and Gooded purchase model. So it's only simple if it's a low involvement product, and then you can come up with your model. This is just an example, yeah. It shouldn't be like this. Okay, so then you got the basic idea, yeah, about this. So statistic is very important in business. However, yeah, if previously you need to master the sophisticated multiple regression, come up with these things, yeah. Now there's a good news for you, yeah. You might heard that marketing has evolved from 1.0 to 5.0. And actually, if you look further, yeah, you also will get it in, for example, if you take a sales or marketing course, you also learn about this, yeah. And then you found that actually the one that enables this is technology. So the same thing with statistic. Smart PLS, yeah. No one say that this is these things, but I think this is the second generation. Yeah, I think the statistician people is they are more modest than marketing, because marketing they come up with marketing 2.0, marketing 3.0, and so on. But for smart PLS, I believe that this is also the second generation for statistics, because it's very easy. Is previously you need to do lots of things, do manual calculation by yourself, but right now it's just a simple of clicks, yeah. And yeah, basically all about this, yeah. So I think before we go and give the floor to Prof. Edwin, probably you wonder, what is this structural equation modeling implementation in the life science company, yeah. So this is one of these example. In the life science company, usually we always want to adopt a new technology. So that's one of the challenge. Yeah, it's about the new technology adoption. Yeah. Actually, this is not happening in life science company. I believe it's also being conducted in outside the life science. So then the question that you might have is, for example, in here, yeah, Pak Richard mentioned that we have several collaboration with companies. In one of our collaboration with Calbe International, they also want to embrace this new technology, and they have these questions in their mind. Yeah, what is the likelihood of success if they implement this new technology that will change the way they communicate to their customer and so on, the way they communicate their product, yeah. And then they also would like to know, what is the drivers of acceptance? Why this is very important? Because you can do lots of things, but then usually in company, you only have limited resources. Yeah, so you need to ensure that this is what really matter the most to your consumers. So then, if you know what is the key driver of acceptance, you can proactively design interventions. So for example, you do training, you do marketing, yeah, to acknowledge and also inform these new things to your target users, so they will be more less inclined to adopt this new technology. Yeah, and then the same thing, yeah, with the simple case with umbrella, will it be moderated by gender or age or education? Yeah. And then this is the model that we use. Yeah, we also use the model from Vacantes. So we use the UT-AUT model, which is stand for the Unified Theory of Acceptance and Use of Technology. And probably you wonder whether is this only theory or I mean, that's always the dilemma, right? Because you always question, it's just a textbook. Is it really applicable to the real world? So I could say that I used to be the general manager for sales and marketing in pharmaceutical company. And then when I joined education, I really surprised that all the things that I learned during my experience actually is there. Yeah, it's there in the textbook, and it's there in the article in the latest journal. Yeah, and I found that these models make really handy, because sometimes I have a very unstructured thought about this, but through this model that we learn during our education, it will make us to think beyond what we know. So it gives us a comprehensive checklist. What's the thing that matters the most to the consumer? Yeah. So basically, we do this analysis with our industry partner. This is one of the things that we do. Yeah. And then this is the collaboration that we have done before. So our first collaboration is we would like to see about this. Yeah, we conducted a research collaboration with Calbi International in Vietnam. Yeah, and now our newest one is the one that we do in Sri Lanka. Yeah. So I guess that's it. Yeah, about the introduction. So I will hand the floor to Prof. Edwin.
Good afternoon, all of you. I am very happy to be here talking about or introducing about what structural equation modeling is. Now, let me first share my screen. Okay. Okay. Do you see now my screen? Okay. So we will be talking about structural equation modeling, because structural equation modeling will mostly centered on mediation and moderation analysis. And this time will be, in our demonstration later, we will be using Smart PLS. But I will also introduce other applications than the Smart PLS for you to have a comparison. Actually, the two are not competing, but they are complementing. I was jokingly asked Miss Lydia during our meeting last week. I asked her, will you be the moderator in this webinar or the mediator? Yeah, so we will be talking about mediation and moderation analysis after introducing to you what structural equation is all about. Now, let me start with this theory, social influence theory. I believe this is also related to marketing. No? Now, social influence theory is saying that an individual's attitude, belief, and subsequent action or behaviors are influenced by other individuals whom we are associated with through three processes: compliance, identification, an internalization. Now, in other words, it is just saying that is just saying that we are variables are actually, we are influenced by interrelation of variables. So when you encounter like this, then I don't think simple statistics will do for this. Yeah. Now, here is the structural equation modeling. Okay. Now, structural equation modeling is an increasingly popular choice for quantitative statistical analysis. Why? Because it allows the researcher to model complex relationships, just like what I have shown you a while ago, while taking into account measurement error of latent variables. Now, there are, as what I have said, there are two important topics in SEM. By the way, structural equation modeling is shortly called SEM. So there are two important topics in SEM, the mediation and moderation. Now, let me discuss with you first, as Ms. Lydia was talking about second generation of statistics. Now let's have a sort of comparison between first generation and second generation. Now, in the first generation, or we call it traditional types of statistics, the first generation, we have regression model, such as linear regression, logit, ANOVA, MANOVA. This can only analyze one layer of linkage between independent and dependent variables at a time. These techniques need to run the analysis many times with different combinations to arrive at a valid model. So, in other words, when you do logit, you have to run separately. When you do ANOVA, you have to run again separately. And when you do multiple analysis of variance, you have to do it separately. So there is a limitation to that. What is the limitation? When you do it in involving some variables and leaving other variables as constant, we know in reality that those variables that we set it constant here in the first generation are not actually constant. Because variables in this complex world are interacting each other. So in other words, we need, as what Ms. Lydia told us a while ago, that we need the kind of statistics that will really model complex situation. Now here is the second generation of multivariate statistics or statistics. The structural equation modeling is a collection of statistical analysis done simultaneously. You see, a while ago in the first generation of statistics, we do separately the ANOVA, and then the regression analysis, we do it separately, and so on and so forth. But here, we do it simultaneously. So put all of those variables together and then run the structural equation modeling, and it will give you the result. And here we have combination of factor analysis. You know what factor analysis is, right? Regression analysis, path analysis, and path analysis with latent variable. By the way, structure, the topic that we will be talking about, the structural equation modeling, is nothing but path analysis with latent variable. And then this is particularly useful for examining direct and indirect effects of variable. Now, as a result of the presence of mediator, you will be able to have a direct and indirect effect of variable. I will discuss that with you later. Now, I just look at two advantages of SEM. Okay, SEM is widely used and is becoming required by reviewers. Take note of that. Required by reviewers for data analysis. And then SEM allows for test of theoretical propositions in non-experimental data. So most of the time when we use structure equation modeling, this will really fit for non-experimental data, or they call it survey type of data. Now, before we go on with the intricate of SEM, let's look at some important and basic terminologies in SEM. Okay, so this is very important. The first thing here is, or the first term here is latent variable. Latent variable can also be called unobserved variable. Yeah, unobserved variable. And this latent variable, by the way, a latent variable is composed of measured or observed variables. Now, latent variable in the representation of structural equation modeling is represented by circle or ellipses, while measured variable is represented by squares or rectangle. So when we say measured variable, those are variables that you observe, because latent variable cannot be observed directly because it is composed of several observed variables. Now, and then we have another term, exogenous and endogenous variable. We just shift into terminology. Actually, in exogenous variable is actually an independent variable. And endogenous variable is just the dependent variable. And then we will be dealing with direct and indirect effect. And then because as a result of this direct and indirect effect, we have the either partial or full mediation later. So I'll be talking about partial and full mediation later. Now, let's start with two types of structural model, because later on you will encounter, I will show you examples on structural equation modeling. This time I'll be introducing it to you. Now, there are two types of structural measurement model. The first one is called measurement model. The measurement model represents the theory that specifies how measured variables come together to represent the theory. While structural model represents the theory that shows how constructs are related to other constructs. Here's an example of measurement model. You see, the measurement model, for example, anxiety. So anxiety is the latent variable because this is represented by an ellipse or a circle. Now, later on in Smart PLS, latent variable is represented by a circle. Or actually, you can also suit it with what you like. You want it ellipse, then there's a way of on how to make it ellipse. Okay, so anxiety is the latent variable or unobserved variable or construct variable. So these are the terms: latent, unobserved, or construct variable. So in this case, in this example, the AS3, AS4, AS5, AS6, AS7 are called observed variables or measured variable or manifest variable. So when you see this means the same thing: manifest, measured, and observed. So this it means they mean one thing only, the same thing. Okay, so now Anxiety and under anxiety are the measured, are the measured variable. Okay, and then next is again latent or unobserved variable. Just a follow up of what was in the previous slide. So in general, this one represented by an ellipse is the latent or unobserved variable. And then here is the observed variable. Okay. Now again, there are two types of latent construct. Take note on this. There could be a possibility also. It depends on the theory. There could be a possibility that arrow, or most of the time, arrow are coming from the latent variable over here. But there are times, there are situations where arrows are coming from the observed variables. Okay, I will talk about that in a little while. Now
Yeah, Prof.
let's,
Edwin.
yes.
Prof. Edwin, in case there's a question from participant,
Okay.
it will be it's okay to ask directly on this session, right? Or do
Yeah,
you want?
I would suggest that they will ask me immediately, because if they will wait until I finish, they can interrupt me. Because if they will wait until I finish, uh, they might forget what they are going to ask. No
Okay.
problem. Yeah,
Yes.
they can interrupt me anytime.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Edwin. So
Yeah.
probably for those who have questions, you can raise your hand, yeah?
Okay, so.
Or probably just
Okay.
put it in the chat box is also okay, because I think Gabriel also will monitor this.
Yeah. Yeah. So just tell me if our participants have concern or inquiries about the lecture. Okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, latent or observed variables. So this one is the latent and these are the observed variables. Now, there are two types of latent variables. Two types of latent construct measurement model. First one is reflective and the other one is formative. Now, what's the difference between reflective and formative? This is the difference between reflective and formative. Now, in the reflective, the arrow is coming from the latent variable. See? The latent variable. Now, like for example, R1, R2, R3 are let's say the latent variable is diet. So R1 is I eat healthy food. And then R2, I do not eat much junk food. R3, I have a balanced diet. That's reflective. Now, the formative one, you will see the arrow is coming from this one, coming from the observed variable going to the latent variable. So formative and reflective. So there is actually a theory behind it. But when we say reflective, just the theory goes like this. You eat healthy food because you want to have a good diet. No? And you do not eat much junk food because you want to have a diet, good diet. Something like that. Like for another latent variable is what do you call this? Later, I will explain that one later. And then the formative variable is coming from here, just like you criteria, just like any criteria. Like for example, you want to judge Miss Indonesia. You have a Miss Indonesia affairs there. And then so you have to set criteria. Pleasing personality. What else? The brain, and etc. etc. So those are criteria. So putting all the criteria together will become Miss Universe here. Indonesia Miss Universe. Just like that. The concept is like that. No? The concept is like that. Now, the question is, how do you know, or how do we know that we are going to use reflective or formative? Now, here is a rule of thumb. Now, here is the rule of thumb. Now, if the indicators or items, oh, by the way, indicators item are also called manifest variable, no? Observed variable, indicators, items, are expected to be highly correlated, then the measurement model should be set as reflective. Yeah, should be set as reflective. Okay? And then if the indicators are not expected to be highly correlated, then though they clearly refers to the same latent variable, then the measurement model should be set as formative. Yeah, formative, reflective. So normally, let's go back to here. So normally, you will see here, no, R1, R2, R3, in the reflective, that they are actually correlated. Huh? They are actually correlated. R1, R2, R3. I eat healthy food. I do not eat much food. I have a balanced diet. So they're actually correlated. Now, if you look at this one, I have a balanced diet. Let's talk about diet. It's talking about diet. I exercise regularly. It's talking about exercise. And then I get sufficient sleep each night. It's talking about sleep. So they are actually separate. But putting them all together will give you a healthy lifestyle. You see? So that's formative, and this is also reflective. Uh, you can actually raise a question if you would like to. Like, for example, happiness. Happiness is a latent variable because how do you know that a person is happy? You will see him or you will see her smiling. So the reason why he smiled, because the being happy is being reflected in her or in in him. So that's why it's called reflective. Being happy, you will see him smiling, uh, smiling, happy. That's an indicator that a person is happy. But you need some more. You need some more indicators. There is a joke that if you see a person smiling without any reason, you need to bring him or bring her to the hospital. So it means that there should only one. This is just or smiling is just one indicator of being happy. So meaning you smile because you are happy. So that's reflective, and this one is different. Putting them all together will give you a healthy lifestyle. Okay, that's reflective. That's formative, and then that's the reason why this indicator is valid. This indicator is valid. Of course, another example. Yeah, yeah. You see, job loss, divorce, recent accident. It seems that different situation. Divorce, accident. This is life stress and timeliness. So accommodate last minute request, punctually. Oh, it has something to do with time. Huh? This one does not have it. I mean, life stress is not indicated here, but if putting them all together, it will give you life stress. Okay, stress and life. Okay, now this is we're talking about measurement model. In the measurement model, you can classify into two, reflective and formative. Now let's talk about the structural model. Yeah, here is the structural model. Huh? So the latent variable is being related on to another latent variable. So this is the independent variables. These are the mediator, actually, mediator. The two are mediator. They are parallel to each other. They're not sequential. They're parallel to each other. And here is the dependent variable or endogenous variable. So here, the structural model, you will see that latent variable are being related to another latent variable. We're talking about uh, structure equation modeling here, particularly PLS Smart. PLS Smart. Okay, now combination of measurement and structural model. Look at this. Oh, here is now the combination of measurement and structural model. So this part here is the measurement model. Yeah, measurement model, meaning before you can do the structural model, see to it that these are in accordance to theory. Because take note that structural equation modeling is confirmatory in nature. Although when you already have the paradigm, I will introduce to you later on the paradigm. If you have already a paradigm, you can play with it. You can play with it because either you connect in the result, either you connect because they are not significant, or you can add another connection. Yeah, you can add another connection for as long as literature will tell you so. Okay. Now, another example for the combination measurement. You will
Prof.
see
Edwin,
this.
sorry, Prof.
Yes,
Edwin.
yes.
I think
No problem.
Bella mentioned that she want to ask questions. Is it
Okay,
okay?
Bella, you can go ahead now. Throw your
Yeah.
question.
Before.
By the way,
Uh,
I will not assure you that I will be able to answer all your questions. One of those answers is I will try to find out. Bella,
Okay.
go ahead now.
Hello, Prof. Sorry to interrupt your presentations,
No
but I
problem, no
think I have a
problem.
question. In
Yeah,
the previous slide, I think you mentioned about direct and indirect effect, right?
yeah.
So
Mm-mm.
can you please explain more about it? Because
I
I'm
will I
curious
will go to
to.
that. Thank you. Yeah, I'll go
Yeah.
to that.
Oh,
I will go to that later.
okay. Thank you, Prof. Thank
Yeah.
you, Prof.
Actually here, actually I can explain it in this model. But I will illustrate it later on. So when we say the uh, here is the situation. Our the researchers' focus actually is to relate the independent variable on the dependent variable. In this case, yeah. And then, but we have identified a mediator here. Uh, we have identified a mediator. Then it makes the model more complex. Now, instead, if you do not have this model, if you do not have this variable, or if you do not have this mediator, you could have, uh, yeah, interpret independent to dependent variable. But there, with the presence of the mediator, you can compute the 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 effect of independent variable on the dependent variable. There are two ways, no? The first one is going to the mediator and from mediator to the dependent. And the other one is from mediator, from independent variable direct to dependent variable. So the total effect, actually, if you will do it, the total effect of this is composed of indirect effect and direct effect. So indirect effect is the computation of this variable. Actually, when you multiply, so the indirect effect, actually, you multiply the two. That's the effect. Now that's the indirect effect. 0.589 times 0.290. That's the indirect effect. This is called direct effect because the independent variable is directly relating to dependent variable. This is called direct effect. So the total effect of independent variable on the dependent variable are two. One is from here, going here, going here. So multiply the two, that's the result of indirect effect, plus the direct effect. So you add the product of this plus this one will give you the total effect. Okay, that's indirect effect. This is direct effect. So the total effect is the sum of indirect and direct effect. Now, the other is what we call full mediation and partial mediation, right? A while ago, full
Yes.
mediation and partial mediation. Now, if the direct effect of this independent variable on the dependent variable is significant, this one also is significant, then you have a partial, the mediation is partial mediation effect. Why? Because the direct arrow is significant. But if this is not significant, there is no other way than going here and then going here, and this one is not significant, then we call it full mediation or fully mediated. Or this variable, this mediator is fully mediating the effect of independent variable on the dependent variable. We call it full mediation. Okay? Okay na? Bella? Do you have any follow-up
Yes, Prof.
question?
I got your point. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, thank you. Now here's the combination. Okay. Now to illustrate some more, you will see this one. Measurement model is this part. There's an arrow here. And also this part, measurement model. And the structural model is this part. You see? Yeah. Measurement model and structural model. So in the structural equation modeling, you can have measurement model and structural model. Okay. Now, there are two kinds of approach in SEM. Okay. There are two SEM approaches.
Prof. Edwin,
Yes.
there's a question from
Yes.
Madiha.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
In the chat. So she mentioned that I just read it. Yeah. So hello, sir. I am Diha. I want to ask, does SEM have to be that complicated and complex form for every variable? I'm currently making my bachelor thesis planning to use SEM PLS, but there's only one variable latent, which has manifest variables and complicated measurement model on my research. Could I still use SEM PLS on my research?
Yes, that is the purpose of SEM. Complex interrelationship of variable. That's why we will be using SEM, because of that complex interrelationship of variables.
Yeah, but then if her model is not complex, is it still okay? I believe that's still okay, right? To use SEM.
Yes, it's still okay, because
but-
it will it will give you. I will go back to my slide. Yeah, for example, this one. If you remove this, the mediator, you only have this independent variable and dependent variable. It will still analyze. It will still analyze. Yeah, it will still analyze.
Yeah.
Much more if it is a complex one. It can
Yeah.
even analyze for a simple one much more. It can even analyze the complex. Much more with the simple one. Yeah, it
Yeah.
will also. It will also
So
analyze.
so with
Because this one stands for regression. Now listen, everyone. This arrow stands for regression analysis. Okay, so one regression analysis, another regression analysis, and another regression analysis. Three regression analysis are combined. But you cannot do this in the first generation statistics. You have to do it one by one time after the other. But in structural equation modeling, you can do them simultaneously. Yeah, even for a simple one, it can be.
Yeah, but then you should like Diha, yeah, if Diha want to add more complexity to the model, it can be easily done by using SAM PLS, right, Prof? So
Yeah,
no
yeah,
need to worry to do a one by one test, which is the should be done by the first generation of statistics.
yeah.
Right now, you could add more variables to it. But if you
Yes,
just want to stick with a simple one, that's okay. That's your choice.
yes. But a word of caution. For every arrow that you put in here, it should be supported by either a theory or previous result. Because structural equation modeling is confirmatory in nature. That's only because you cannot just you cannot do it. I want to connect this one. I'll see. I'll see what will happen. I want to connect this one. I'll see what will happen. No, you cannot do that. It should be based on the previous studies or on a theory. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Madiha mentioned that. Yeah, I got it. Great. Thank you, sir. Yeah. So
Okay.
thanks
Welcome.
also for the question. Yeah, Madiha. Yeah, if any of you would like to ask questions, and if you feel yeah, it's easier to ask by yeah, like a not typing, so just raise your hand.
That's
But if
it.
you feel,
Yeah.
and then I think Gabriel will um, upgrade you, yeah, and so you can talk.
Yeah.
But then if you feel more convenience to us by using chat, like what Diha did, then feel free to do so.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the
There will
question, Madiha.
be two persons now. Miss Lydia to serve as moderator and Gabriel to serve as mediator. So we are complete.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Let's proceed. There are
Okay.
two approaches of SEM. The first approach is covariance based. The second one is variance based. Now, here are the applications for covariance based. The software application for covariance based involve AMOS. So this is very familiar. And also Lisrel. This is also familiar in structural equation modeling. But this is under covariance. And then Implas, SAS, Procalis, and then we have also R package SEM, R package Labaan, R package OpenMX, AQS, and then the other one is variance based. So softwares involved in variance based are, yeah, this is actually PLS based, no? Softwares involved in here is Smart PLS and PLS Graph. Other software also are developing. I think Just, if you are familiar with Just, they are developing SEM to a process of SEM. One is covariance and one is variance. I have They're still developing right now. So that's what I am waiting actually. Just is a very good application also. And one thing good is that just is can just be downloaded. It's freeware, free apps. Okay, so much more to this. Here is the situation. Structural equation modeling, and then we have here covariance, and we have here component base or partial least square. Covariance, variance base, or component. So these are the, the softwares or the applications that are corresponding to, or that corresponds to covariance. These are the applications that also correspond to variance base or component base. Okay, now let us see it's one of them, the difference between the two. Okay. By the way, the reason why it's called covariance because the result here are actually taken from the covariances of this interrelationship of these variables, covariances of this variable. Huh? Okay, so covariance base or CBSEM develops a theoretical. So this is the role of covariance base. Develop a theoretical covariance matrix based on a specified set of structural equation. The technique focuses, so take them this is a theory now. The technique focuses on estimating a set of model parameters in such a way that the difference between the theoretical and covariance matrix and the sample covariance matrix is minimized. So in this case, the application, for example, Amos is a covariance based. Amos will create a theoretical covariance. Huh? Amos will create a theoretical covariance. And then, based on the sample or based on the data that we feed to Amos, it also created a sample covariance. So we have theoretical covariance and we have sample covariance. Now, how do you relate the two? It says here that the theoretical covariance ideally and the sample covariance should be near to each other. Or in other words, there must be no much difference. Yeah, you see? In such a way that the difference between the theoretical covariance and the sample bias is minimized. So it should be minimal. The theoretical and the sample covariance should be minimal. Now, how do you know that it is minimal? That's why in SEM, if you will see articles in SEM, you will see fit indices. Like, for example, chi-square, RMSEA, CFI, GFI. These are fit indices. This will tell you that the sample covariance the covariance that is being created by the sample is no much difference on the theoretical covariance which is created by the SEM. So there should be no difference. Now that's why if the fit is very far, there is a way of manipulating it in such a way that you have to, of course, when you do manipulation here, it should be within the framework. You should not go beyond the framework, the being set. So there are ways that you can, for example, the root mean square error approximation or RMSA, the ideal should be less than 0.08 or below. 0.08 or below. Now, if you have 0.09, okay, so you have to do something on your model. By doing something on your model, it will lower down the RMSSA will lower down into 0.073. So in this case, this one is already acceptable. But there are cases that either no matter how you do something, or how you manipulated it, still it does it does not satisfy with the specified RMSCA, which is 0.08. There is not. It is not. You have a poor model. So if you have a poor model, you better throw it away because you cannot do further explain the relationship of this if you have a bad model. So that's CBSEM. Okay. And the other one is the variance base, like Smart PLS, PLSM. These are variance based. So the variance base here is particular only on causal modeling approach aimed at maximizing the explained variance of the dependent or latent construct. So how do you know that what is the indicator of the variance, explaining the variance? The indicator of explaining the variance is the R squared actually. So yeah, so you should have the R squared here. So it does not need more, but if you want to, it also caters actually. There's also a fitness of model here if you want to, but when you talk about smart PLS or variance based, it specializes on maximizing the explained variance, which is the R, from combination of independent variable on the dependent variable. Okay, and then these are some examples. Yeah, these are examples of component. CB based SEM. In this case, yeah, we have measurement model, measurement component, and here we have here the structural component, structural equation.
So,
Okay,
Prof.
and then
Edwin,
yes,
I do have questions.
yes, go ahead,
Sorry,
please.
can we go back again to the previous slide?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Finish this one.
Yeah, in this one.
Yeah.
So probably this one also refer to the your input toward the questions, yeah, because
Yeah.
the objective to use the PLS SAM because you want to maximize the explains variance of
Correct.
your dependent latent constructs because you
Independent.
want
Independent.
yeah
Explain the
independent.
independent latent construct on the dependent.
Yeah, correct. So
Mhm.
in that case, you should add more as many as the relevant independent variance in order to explain your dependent variable, right?
Yes. Correct.
Yeah, because
You can generate R square here in the smart PLS. It's
okay.
always there. Yeah,
Yes.
you can have it there.
Yeah, because the world usually is so complex.
Yeah.
Therefore, if you only have one latent variable, it seems that there will be another latent variable to be put in this model, right? To become
Yeah.
it more, because SAM is very useful to predict something in the future,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you need to input this significant latent variable into this model so you can predict better on the outcome that you want,
Correct.
right?
Yeah. You're correct. You're correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for helping me. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, I explained this one already. And then here is the next question. I introduced to you the two kinds of SEM, or two approaches in SEM, the covariance based and the variance based. The next question is, which SEM approach to use? Which SEM approach to use? Okay, here is the condition. Or here are the conditions. The first column is the in terms of, and then the first column in terms of, the second column is description, and then the third and the fourth column is PLS and CBSEM. Okay. Now the first one in terms of research goal. So what is our description for research goal? Do we want a theory, development, and prediction? Yeah, if you develop theory and prediction, PLSM is good. Yeah, that is if you develop a theory and predict. And then if you want to test theory or theory confirmation or comparison of alternative theories, yeah, if you will just do theory testing, meaning that you just would like to confirm the previous studies, then you can use CBSEM or AMOS in particular. And then for exploratory or extension of an existing structural theory, you can use when you explore, no? When you explore. So there is actually some kind of an exploratory. Now here, you can use PLSM. And then in terms of measurement model and specification, if it is formative construct are part of the structural model. Oh, not all, maybe not all construct are formative. You remember the formative, reflective, and formative? Formative is arrows are coming from the indicators going to the latent variable. Reflective is the arrow is coming from the latent towards the indicators. Now, if you have some construct which are formative in nature, unfortunately, CBSEM or AMOS do not have that. You can have it only in PLSM. Yeah. Now, if you are going to analyze error terms, requires additional specifications such as covariation, PLSM do not have. SEM or AMOS have it. Complex structural model, many construct and many indicators. So this is the answer to the question a while ago. If the structural model is complex, better use PLSM, smart PLS. And then for the non-recursive model, if your model is non-recursive, what does it mean by non-recursive? So there will come, I mean, you might be encountering a situation where, for example, you have two variables, variable 1 and variable 2. And then when you analyze according to theory, variable 1 can serve as independent variable and variable 2 is the dependent variable. And then you have another theory that says that it is also possible that variable 2 can also be independent, variable 1 can be dependent. So you will have two arrows now, two single-headed arrow from variable 1 and from variable 1 to variable 2 and from variable 2 to variable 1. That is called that is called non-recursive model. CBSM has that. PLSM do not have on that. Okay. So as I have told you a while ago that PLSM and covariance-based SEM are not actually competing each other. They are complementing each other. In terms of data characteristics, okay, this is very important. Description. If you have a small sample size, PLSM is the one to be used. Yeah. If you have a small sample size, so there's just a remark on this. For PLSM, minimum sample size equals the larger of the population, 10 times the larger number of formative indicators, and 10 times the largest of the structural path directed at a latent construct in the structural model. So, if you will follow this rule, you will all you have to do is to just follow, or the 10 times the largest number of formative indicators, and that's all. But you cannot do that in covariance based SEM. There should be a specified number of sample size. And then for large sample size, you can use covariance based SEM with a large sample size. Is a remark. CBSEM and actually PLSM results are similar, provided that a large number of indicators are used to measure the latent variable. They're actually similar when you have a large sample size. So in other words, you can also use this one. Yeah, you can also use this. So data are to some extent the normal. Covariance based is based on the normality of data, but this one you don't need to. You don't need to have your data to be normal. You can analyze that one right away. Okay, and then CBSEM requirement cannot be met. Example, model specification. I will not actually discuss this because these are for EMOS. So if there are requirements, in other words, to make the long story short, if there are requirements in CBSEM that are not met, then PLSM is the better one to use. And then for model evaluation, latent variable scores are used in subsequent analysis. You can use PLSM. Research requires global of fitness criteria. Normally, we use CBSEM. The reason why for this fit criteria is you want to find out whether the theoretical covariance is near to the sample covariance. That's why you have to see the fitness of your model. That's why you are going to use CBSEM. And then one to test for measurement model invariance. This one is going to be. Okay. Now next, this time we will be dealing now with mediation. Okay. Okay, so mediation and multi-group analysis, particularly in smart PLS. Okay, here actually, we will be dealing with the one that I explained to you a while ago, the direct and indirect, and mediate. Was that full mediation and the partial mediation? Yeah, in the presence of mediation, you can have those. So what is actually mediation? So mediation occurs when the third variable intervenes between the two related constructs. More precisely, a change in the independent variable construct causes a change in the mediator variable, which in turn results in a change of the endogenous construct in the PLS path model. Meaning, from independent variable, going to mediator, and then from mediator to dependent variable. So that is what it means by mediation. Okay, here is the example. So independent variables. In this case, we have a simple one, independent, and this is the dependent. So regression, actually this is a regression analysis. Just do regression analysis once. And then C stands for the standardized coefficient or coefficient. It could be an standardized or it could be standardized. And then you want to find the effect of the independent variable on the dependent variable without the presence of mediator. This is the effect. Now, you do not know, or we do not know, that this effect is due to a mediator variable. I have analyzed many data that when you do regression analysis, yeah, there is a significant regression. But yeah, see, in other words, the direct from independent to dependent variable is significant. When I introduce the mediator variable, lo and behold, the direct, this one is direct, is no longer significant. It's from here going to mediator, from mediator going to the dependent. So that's why the reason why this became significant because of the mediator. Without the presence of the mediator, so it's significant. Now, when there is a presence of mediator, this one is no longer significant, but this one is significant. So it means that the effect, the reason of the effect here is due to the mediator. Yeah, this one. So if this is not significant, and what is significant is this, then we call it full mediation. No? Because there is not significant. So if it is significant, we call it partial mediation. Okay. To explain once more about mediation, mediation occurs when a third mediator variable intervenes between two other related constructs. In other words, when we say intervene, it's in between, just like what Ms. Lydia was talking about a while ago. The umbrella sales, that's independent variable, and then the climate, whether it's rainy season or dry season, is the independent variable. Now, but when it is raining, you will see that climate is related to umbrella sales. Now you further ask the question, why is it that when it is raining, the more it will rain, the more the sales in the umbrella. So why? Because it could be possible that people would not like to get wet. You see? Since they do not want to get wet, then they are going to buy umbrella. So attitude of whether they want to get wet or not, it depends on them. So the third variable is attitude, whether they want to get wet or not. But if there are people that they would rather get wet during the rainy season, when they cross from one building to the other, they do not buy umbrella anymore. But most people buy umbrella because they do not want to get wet. Okay, so that's precisely what mediation analysis is all about. Okay, so the same. So here is the illustration. Now, I think we will not illustrate this one. I already have illustrated this. Now, P1 times P2. This is the direct effect. Then P3 is the P1 times P2 indirect effect. And P3 is the direct effect. So combining all of them, we call it total effect. Yeah, multiply the two, add the product to P3. Yeah, that's total effect of Y1 to Y2. Okay, now here is an example. So I'm going to expose you now some examples or some model in structural equation modeling. This one, you see? Now, if you are going to put everything here, let's say you have two independent variables, you have two mediators, and you have one dependent variable. Now, for each arrow that you can make here, equivalent or correspond to one hypothesis. Another hypothesis, you will see that for each arrow here correspond to one hypothesis. So imagine there are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 hypotheses you are going to answer at one time. So it's very convenient now when you are going to use structural equation modeling. Modeling impact of word and mouth and e-government on online social presence during COVID-19 break, a multi-mediation approach. Okay, so here is the hypothesis. And now after running it, here is the result. You have now the result. Now you have the result now. It turned out to be significant. There are two asterisks, meaning significant at 0.01 level. One asterisk means significant at 0.05 level. You see? Only one run will give you 9, will help you answer 9 hypotheses. Okay, so this is nice. But in the first generation, you cannot do it. You have to do it one by one. Okay, and then here's another example. Yeah, hypothesis 1, hypothesis 2, hypothesis 3, hypothesis 4. Oh, this is hypothesis 1, no? General misinformation belief about COVID-19 have a negative impact on COVID-19 individual response. And so on and so forth. Answering all these 4 questions, hypothesis, will just give you in one shot. Okay, here is the result. See, this is smart PLS now. Oh, what about the first hypothesis? Oh, here is the result. Oh, unfortunately, there is no indicator whether this is significant or not. Anyway, I'm just telling you that this is the result of smart PLS after running at one time. Okay, and then mediating effect. You can actually follow if you have studies. These are common, no? If your study is similar to this, then you can just replace variables here. Mediating effect of parental stress on harsh parenting and parenting-child relationship during coronavirus pandemic in Singapore. This was done actually in Singapore. So here is the hypothesis. And then here is the result. Very convenient. Yeah, another one, customer satisfaction and competitiveness in the Chinese e-retailing for structural equation modeling approach to identify the role 5 of quality factors. Here is the model. Quality factors on customer satisfaction And then after running Smart PLS, the result is this now. So very convenient. Yeah, very convenient. So just to continue illustrating to you what a full and partial mediation is all about. So this, in the first part here is the full mediation. No? Full mediation, the direct effect is not significant. So meaning from A to C is not significant. This is full mediation. Meaning the mediator B is fully mediating the effect of A on C. Full mediation. The other one is partial mediation. Why partial? Because this one is significant. The direct effect is significant. So the total effect, you can count it, is equal to indirect effect plus direct effect. So yeah, the total effect. This is the what we call partial mediation, meaning that the mediator B is partially mediating the effect of A on B. And that's partial and total mediation or full mediation. Okay,
Prof,
so
I
yes,
think
okay.
there are several participants that raise hand. So which one first, Gabriel?
I think Miss Henilia Yulita is the first person to raise her hand. Maybe
Okay.
Miss Yulita, if you want to ask something to Prof. Edwin, you can ask directly. I already enabled your sound, so you can talk directly to Prof. Edwin.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Hello, Prof. Edwin. How are
Yes,
you?
hello. Yeah,
Yeah, nice to meet you, Prof.
we're
Edwin.
fine. Thank you.
I would like to ask, my name is Henilia. I'm a lecturer from University in Jakarta.
Mm.
Actually, PLS, Smart PLS is familiar with me because within 3 years, I've been using this for calculating my research, actually.
Wow, very good, very
It's
good.
really nice because before I'm using Smart PLS, I was using SPSS. As you know, like you said before, that SPSS was we have to count it one by one, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
When I
Uh,
know from Smart PLS that we can count at once, and then it will
yeah,
be so easy for me to do my research. And then I teach my students also how to use Smart PLS, and they love it so much because
wow, thank you very much.
because if,
Uh,
even they have so many variables and they have so many hypotheses, it will be easy because they just do once at one time, and then they will get
mm,
the result, and we just interpret the result. But my question,
mm,
Prof,
mhm.
the first one is, when we calculate many times, the result is not same as like we count with SPSS. If with
Uh-huh.
SPSS, right? If we do with SPSS and then the data are the same, many times we calculate the result will be the same. Yeah, about the validation,
Mm-mm.
reliability, and so on and
Yeah.
so on. The
Uh,
number will be the same, but with the PLS, it will be different every time we count. Is that right?
yeah, yeah, correct.
So when I teach my students to do for their thesis, for example,
Yeah.
I will ask them, okay, if the indicator is not valid, so you have to delete it, and then you have to run again, and then
Uh,
they have to do it again, and then when they do it, it's wrong, and then I said, do it again. So they said, Miss, it's always changing the result.
yeah, that's correct.
So how
Uh,
to solve that problem? Because every time we calculate, it will be changed. So they said at the first time, Miss valid, Miss all the indicator are valid. But when they running again, oh Miss, why it's become not valid?
correct, correct.
Yeah, Prof,
So,
that is the first question. Sorry, I have two questions, Prof. Um,
yeah. Let me answer for the first
oh yeah,
question.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you.
Actually, that is also my first question before. I was wondering, my first run is this, and then the second run different. Now you will notice that before you will run, you 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 click the bootstrapping, right?
Yes, 500 the strap.
Yeah, for example, you click 500 bootstrap,
Yes.
meaning that you are going to multiply the sample 500 times,
Yes.
right? And then, but multiply subsamples, I mean subsamples,
Mm-hmm.
subsamples. And then when you run again, although you set it for 500, but it would be a different bootstrapping.
I see.
Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
So practically it's different subsamples.
I see.
So there is you expect that there is really a, but what I have noticed also, the result is not just that big, but you know, when the when the result is almost significant,
Mm-hmm.
when you are going to make it, have it a higher sample, like for example from 500 you make it 1000, there should be a possibility that it will become significant. Like for example
Yeah,
0.56 0.056
yeah, yeah, yeah.
for 500,
Mm.
and then you are going to make it 1000,
Mm-hmm.
there is a possibility that it will become 0.049, something like that. So it will not be significant.
I
So
see.
that dwells, it actually dwells on the selection of subsamples.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you cannot run the requirement for this is that you have to bootstrap first. You really have to bootstrap before it will run.
I
Before it will give you the key value.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second question.
Is it
Oh
okay
yeah,
if I
Prof. Edwin, probably I want to add, Prof. Edwin, I also
Yeah.
have questions related to this. Probably
Yes.
this is also the other reason why when we are using some PLS, and if you want to uh, make a, yeah, you want to put our model for a research paper, put it in journal, then to make sure, then instead of using 500, we are using 5,000,
Yeah.
something
If
like
you
that.
if your computer can if your computer will allow you to do that, then why not?
Yeah, because
Because you
it
will
gives
notice that
us a better.
if you will set it to a higher subsamples, your computer will, you know,
Slower, yeah,
will become slowly and slowly
yeah,
because you have
yeah, yes,
5,000
understand.
samples. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then I would
Yeah, next
suggest
question.
that I would suggest to your just tell your student that when you are already sure of what you're doing, then that's the one. That's the one, because you when you run it again, there's another. It would just, but the difference is just slight, naman. It's very slight.
I see, I see.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I'm sorry for the next question. Can I ask more?
yeah. Yes, yes.
Uh,
Go ahead.
Prof, for saying that the indicator is reliable, or the variable is reliable, we can say from construct reliability and validity, right? From composite
Yeah.
reliability, and it must be more than 0.7, right? So we can
Yeah,
say the construct is reliable. The
yeah.
question is, some of my research, the point is 0.6 and the color is red. Can we just find the theory that say 0.6 is okay or reliable, instead of we have to delete the indicators? What do you think, Prof?
If you can find a theory, well and good. But if you cannot find, the rule in statistics will do. It should be 0.05. You delete that one.
Oh, okay, so it means I have to delete the indicator first, and then I
Yeah,
run again, so it will
yeah.
become
Run it again.
run it again, and
Yeah,
it.
that's what I usually do.
I see.
I
I see.
delete.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
delete the
when the color
indicator.
is red, we cannot use it red, Prof. When the color,
Yeah,
the result of composite reliability is red, because below
yeah.
of 0.7, we cannot use it.
Yeah, you can. You cannot use it.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
I would suggest it to be deleted.
Okay, okay, got it.
Uh,
The last question, Prof. So
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead. Yeah,
I've been doing my dissertation research now. And I have the data for about 500 more than data respondents. So it is compatible if I use Smart PLS, because as I know, Smart PLS is for lower or small data. What do you think, Prof?
Yeah, actually, you can, uh, as what I have discussed a while ago, for a large data, you can also use Smart PLS. After all, what's that? The CBSEM and Smart PLS, or yes, yeah, Smart PLS or PLS are just the same. So use PLS.
Okay, so it
So
means
what is convenient on PLS? Because actually, it depends on your purpose. If you want to test a theory, then you can use the covariance, and then go through the fitness of model testing before you look at the significance of its relationship of variable, its effect of the variable to another variable.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Prof, for your
Yeah.
explanation. Thank you
Yeah,
so
you're
much.
welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, Miss Lydia, do they still have one?
Yeah, we still have another
Ah,
one who raised her hand, which
ah,
Adisti. Are you in here, Adisti? Sorry. Hello, Adisti. I see you raise your hand. Maybe you want to ask something to Prof. Edwin directly.
I
Okay.
think Adisti is still in mute, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you
Or
can.
so, probably anytime, yeah, Adisti are ready. You can unmute and feel free to interrupt, yeah. Yeah, so
yeah,
probably
okay. Yeah.
that's the best arrangement, probably, yeah. Yeah,
Ah,
thank you, Gabriel.
okay.
You're welcome,
So
Miss Lydia.
I so I can now proceed.
So
We're almost done actually.
yeah,
We're
so
almost
please
done.
proceed.
Okay.
Yes.
And then so these are examples of mediation. In this case, M1, M2 are mediators which are parallel. They are not sequential, because if it were sequential, mediator M1 and M2 are here, M2 are here, and then there's an arrow from M1 to M2 and then going to Y2. But in this case, this is called parallel. So the same thing, the computation of the total effect is you multiply P1 and P2, and then multiply P4 and P5, and then add to P3. So P1 times P2 plus P3 plus P4 times P5. That's the total effect. So it's different computation when they are sequential. Okay, so let's proceed. Oh, wait. Okay, so when considering multiple mediators, the researcher shall analyze the model that includes all relevant mediators at the same time. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Now here is example. Yeah. Okay, so here is these are the mediating effect. Actually, you will see here this one. What is this? Service quality has to be. This is what we call third degree mediation. Yeah, because this is the first, second, and then this is the third. So yeah, these are actually measures of this, and also this has measures. Under this one, it has also indicators. So in other words, this can serve as this one. The indicators of this are latent. This one and this. And so what you're going to account is for your structural model are only this one. This relationship. Not this one, no? Not this one. Only this. So that's why we have CS to CL, meaning service quality to no. Customer customer satisfaction to customer loyalty. This one. So you have the beta 0.738. So the decision is accepted. Why accepted? Yeah, accepted because the p-value is okay. This one reject, meaning we have to delete this one in the final model. This one rejected. This one delete in the final model. So this one also. So you have this one. You have this one 0.03. Why is it accepted? By the way, I forgot. Maybe the one if you can set it to one tail, you will see that the one tail significance in statistics, you divide it by 2, then you can do that. You can do that. But of course, the effect is not that good anymore. But at least it's significant. That's why this one is also significant. Accepted. Okay, so here is the demonstration of mediation. And now I am asking Bella, are you ready?
Yes, Prof.
Bella and Febri, maybe Febri can assist Bella later. So, for the meantime, before I will discuss moderation analysis. Oh, by the way, actually, moderation analysis actually is optional because well, unless you want to extend, I am also willing to extend up to 4:30. So we can discuss also thoroughly on moderation. But as of this time, the demonstration of mediation analysis. So I can stop sharing my PowerPoint and then ask Bella to share her screen to do demonstration on Smart PLS.
I think
Bella?
I will refer to Febri. Yeah, Febri,
Yes.
right?
Febri,
Febri, right?
either Bella and Febri.
Yeah. So
Hello, Prof. Okay, I will share my
Oh,
screen, yeah, Prof.
yeah, you can share it now.
Okay. Okay. Can everyone see my screen now?
Maybe you can start from the very beginning.
Yes, I will start from
Yeah.
the very beginning. Okay,
Okay.
this one is only my practice before this presentation. Okay. So this is the Smart PLS software. So when we want to create a project, we can go to this create a new project. Oh, beforehand, so Prof. Edwin actually have sent us the examples. So in here, you can see that there's the data uh, in CSV models and also SAV models. So this SAV is actually from SPSS. So it is optional if you want to use this, but I will recommend using this one, CSV. So this CSV, if you download it, okay. When we download it, it can be open from Excel software also. And this one is the one that we will use for the Smart PLS. So I already download the data one. And in here, if you want to start, you can go to this, create a new project. And then we can name it, for example, example 1. And then if you want to input the data, you can double click in here below the example 1 project. So in here, double click, and then you can find the data that you saved. In here, I saved it in downloads, data 1, and then I will input it. Okay, and here you can see that the data is loaded already. This is for the exercise 1. If any participants also wants to try while I explain it, it will be great. And then you go here, this icon. Okay, you can see in here that the indicators is already loaded. And okay, now we want to create the structural model. So here, Prof. Edwin also already equipped us with this paradigm in here. So we will use this as our guide to analyze the data. And in here, you can see that there's observed variables and also latent variables.
By
But
the way,
if you see in here, yeah.
Abby, we cannot see your screen on the paradigm one. We just see your
sorry.
screen on the Smart PLS. Yes.
You can share
Let me
your
see if I can-
entire screen.
Yeah.
Share your entire screen.
Okay. Okay, let me see. Can you see my screen now? The first screen and second screen? Okay. Oh, okay. So this is okay. This is the data that I told you, the CSV one. So you can download this one and then input it in the Smart PLS. And this is the paradigm that we will use as our guide in our analysis. So in here, you can see that there is observed variables and also latent variables. And if we go back to this Smart PLS, we can actually see that there is a variables in here. This one is power PD, that means power distance, yeah. Okay. Power distance. For example, if we input this in here, the power distance will be latent variable, but we don't want this. We don't want this because we want the power distance to be the observed variable. So what we do is we average the number in SPSS, and then we will get this. Okay, let me just open the Excel and you will see better. So in here, this is represent power distribution, a power distance. Yeah. And then if we average all of this number, we will get this power distance. And this is the number that we will use as our observed variables.
Yep.
So we go back to the Smart PLS in here. I can just drag, sorry. So Bella, can you assist me?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. For the first latent variable
is audit culture containing power distance until the time orientations.
Okay. So in here, and then we just click and then shift down, and then we can just drag it here. In here, we have one latent variables, so we can rename it into audit
culture.
Culture. Okay.
Yes.
And then the second latent variable is
internal control containing control environment until monitoring.
Okay, and then we drag it here.
Until monitoring, yes. Okay.
Oh, wait. Control environment until monitoring. Oh.
Yes.
And then we rename
internal
it.
Control. Internal control, okay.
Okay. And then
Governance,
and
politics
then
until economics,
okay.
mediating variable.
Okay, this will be the mediating variable. Unit governance. And then we can also change the direction. Here we can make it like to the top, and then we can also put it in the bottom, but we will put it at the top. So it will be, and then the next one.
Onto the dependent variable, audit quality containing audit reliability until value of recommendations. Yep. Audit quality. Yeah.
Then we will put it here. Is there anything else? Okay.
The moderator variable, should we input
Okay,
it
the
as
moderator.
well?
Yeah, Sir Edwin, should
Moderator.
we show the moderator variable also?
The moderator, we will discuss it separately on moderator. You can only
Okay.
show the moderator if if the moderators are continuous or at least interval, because you can multiply the two and then show it here. But the moderator in our case, in our example, is not continuous. That's why moderator, if it is moderator, actually is a general term. Now, if we deal with ordinal variable or nominal variable, we have to do multi-group analysis. That's what we are going to do, multi-group analysis. But multi-group analysis is also a kind of moderation analysis. Yeah, because you cannot combine, you cannot multiply. Actually, in moderation analysis, you can actually multiply the two variables. You can only do that if both variables are continuous or at least interval. But one interval, one continuous in one continuous in one ordinal, you cannot do that. You cannot multiply. Much more with one continuous in one nominal variable. You cannot do that. So we have to do it separately actually.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, then now we will continue. So here the next step is we will connect all of this latent variable. Simply just click this icon, connect, and then we can connect the audit culture to the audit quality and the internal control to audit quality. This is all based on the paradigm. And then as our mediator, we will connect the audit culture to governance, and then internal control to governance. And governance is our mediator will be connect to audit quality. Now we have everything connected. Bella, can you double check that everything is connected?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. If all of the latent variable is connected, the color will change into blue. And then now the next step is we will we will calculate the data by simply just click the calculate icon, calculate, and then we will do the bootstrapping in here. Okay, we can use 500 subsamples, but it is better if we use more subsamples. So usually we use 2000 in here, but everything else you don't have to change it. And if you are curious what is this complete bootstrapping, basic bootstrapping, you can also read it in here. For right now, we will use basic bootstrapping because we want to analyze the path coefficient, indirect, and total effects. So we will start the calculation. Okay, now we have our results, but also we can see the results from which one?
Yeah, example one.
This
Example
example.
one,
Okay,
by the way.
example one. Okay.
Okay.
In here we can
Yeah.
see the result in here, and sorry. And if we want to change the results, for example, we want to know the path coefficient and p-values, then we can change it in here. See, this one is the p-values, the path coefficient, and then the outer model also, this one, the one from observed variable to latent variable, we can change it in here to p-values. Here you can see that everything is actually significant. Yeah, everything is significant, so we can reject the null hypothesis and accept the alternative hypothesis in this case.
Okay, Helena, I think is raising her hand. Yolita.
Yeah.
Helena. Yeah,
Yeah.
Helen.
So, Gabriel, can you help, please?
Thank you.
Okay.
Inelia.
Prof, sorry, I would like to ask Prof. About the model is, I think it's calculation about the first order, yeah, Prof. How
Yeah.
if we want to count the second order? Because my dissertation consists of dimension, that dimension will become the first order. And then when the calculation with the PLS, should I put the second order too, or just like this? Just the dimension and then the variable become the variable and then the dimension become the first order. Should I put the second order, sir? Thank you.
Yeah, you can also put the second order, but you have to be careful. There is a rule there, because you cannot just put those dimensions together, because there will be a redundancy of your variables. No, you should be careful. I want you to say in YouTube the how to do it. It's in YouTube. Just type second order variable, and the one who is explaining is Gaskin. Gaskin. Jaskin. He will explain to you how to do the second order variable. You cannot just put it here, because if you are going to put those second order, there is a redundancy of your data.
I see.
Yeah, you have to refer it to him. He has a good explanation about that.
I see.
Yeah, and then after that, when you put it here already, then do the same thing. You can calculate and run.
Yes. How about if
Yeah.
we put the not mediator but the non-parametric data, sir? For example, I would like to join, for example, the age, something like that. Can we count, right? Just put the variable over there for non-parametric.
How did you encode for age? How did you encode the age? Is it according to interval or just it's actual?
I think
is it actual?
Yeah, I think for example, for age 18 until 24, like generation, Prof. Generation
Okay.
X, generation.
You can add. You can add, because age is continuous. Yeah.
Okay.
If you put it into interval, that's another story. It is already an ordinal type of measurement, so you cannot put it here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. But if I just put like nominal, something like that. So, for example, 1 until nominal scale, something like that.
Nominal. Actually, nominal and ordinal are for moderators. I am hesitant to put it here, as one of the independent variables because of the nature of its nature,
Oh.
because that nature is, because if you will see that um, the smart PLS is for at least, you can put the variable if the smart if your variable is at least interval
Oh.
nature.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interval.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So how about gender, sir? Can we put?
Yeah, gender. That's what I've told you, that I am hesitant to put it here because gender is a nominal. I
I see.
usually the gender is usually is a moderator variable. The
Mhm.
role of gender here is moderate, or yeah, is a moderator variable, and you can use it using uh, multi-group analysis.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Multi-group analysis.
Yeah, multi-group analysis. That serves as the gender this time serves as a moderator variable.
I see.
Uh,
Okay. Gender, income, something like that, yeah, sir.
Income, oh, okay, income is okay.
Oh,
Yeah, income is okay, it's
how?
continuous. But if in normally here in the Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
we usually categorize income in terms of interval. If
Mm,
that's the case, then that is already an ordinal type of measurement. But
okay.
if you put the income as is, then there is no problem
Okay.
because that is considered as continuous.
Okay. So income,
Yeah.
age, if we put like interval, it's okay, yeah, sir.
No, you cannot do it
Oh,
if you put interval for age and income. It should be when you consider age, it should be the actual one, because age is by nature is continuous. Yeah,
uh-huh.
because you can have your age can be 19.5. It's okay, right? 19.5. Then 51.7. Yeah, because it's continuous. But if you already have put it into interval, that is already ordinal. But if you use it, I mean, if your age here is actual, then you can do that. The same is true with the income. You can do that.
Oh,
Yeah. You know the reason why the age and the income are put into interval, because there are respondents are very shy. They do not like to put their age, age also, their
uh-huh.
income, their age in actual. They do not want, especially the female. Now I'm talking here, not there in Indonesia.
Yeah.
That's why that's the limitation. My wife, being the research teacher,
Uh-huh.
when putting age as one of the variable, he said put it actual. Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean by actual? Because I have around 500 respondents, sir.
The actual age. What's your age? If your age is 57, put 57. If your
Ah,
age is 51, put 51. Something like that. Not in terms of interval.
and then how to calculate?
Yeah.
How to calculate? Because the respondent will be 500 something, for example.
Yeah.
Should
You
we count 500?
you can how to put it into interval?
Yeah, yeah. Because
Very easy. Very easy. Bella did it in his SPSS.
mm,
Bella did it in SPSS. Very easy.
okay.
Yeah, when it's easier to put age actual,
Mhm.
because you can translate it to interval. But if it is already in interval, you cannot bring it back to the actual.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
problem.
Yeah, I see. I see.
Yeah. So very it's easy. Bella can demonstrate to you how to do it in
Okay.
SPSS. In
Oh,
SPSS.
yeah, I understood SPSS. But I just want to
Yeah.
know, can we put age and income in this PLS?
Yeah, you can put if it is actual, but
Actually,
if it
yeah,
is not
Yeah.
actual, you can.
I see. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you, Prof.
you
Thank
can.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, that's why Prof. Edwin mentioned that actually I believe that AIDS also considered as moderating. Yeah, and Prof. Edwin
Yeah.
mentioned that actually there's lots of things that we have to be covered. The things is smart PLX make it so easy for us. So I think February will show it's just a simple. We just need to press several buttons and that's it. We've got our statistical calculation. But what's the challenge behind this is in creating that model itself, in determining the variable, which one is the independent, dependent, mediating, the moderating. That's why we need an additional session for this one.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I also
Yeah.
and I also got informed, from Gabriel. So Gabriel mentioned to me that some participant also asking about when this will be over the time. Probably for this session, we will limit ourselves to 4 o'clock. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and probably we can continue this in further advance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of a smart
We'll make it
session.
since you are given 2 months subscription. Maybe the next session is it should be before 2 months so that you can make use of the the one that is being sent to us by Smart PLS.
Mhm.
By the way, it's courtesy
Yeah.
of Smart PLS. I understand
Yeah.
Gabriel has already distributed the code, and that code
Mhm.
is actually donated courtesy of Smart PLS. So that's why I am requesting Gabriel to make a certificate also for Smart PLS. Yeah, as a token of our appreciation.
Noted, Prof.
Uh,
Edwin. Thank you.
Yeah, so probably after this, if the participant would like to know further, probably they can send their response to Gabriel. If there's many who interested to do an advance, then we would conduct the same thing again and try to dig deeper onto this, because I believe that once we start to do this, there will be a lots of questions even with the small the easy exercise. Actually it's quite tricky, Prof. Edwin, when I say that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, it seems that it's quite simple, your exercise, but actually it's quite tricky because probably it's also Indonesian people. We like to instantly drive, like our handphone. We instantly want to operate our handphone, and then once we start to do that, and then we start to question ourselves, why we do this, what's the function of this, can we
yeah,
do
yeah.
this, can we do this, so
Yeah.
something like that. So probably meanwhile in the other country, you should read the manual first. That's why it's very important to know what is the variable type, what is the and then like nominal, ordinal. That's also another thing which is also important. But I think that can goes along the way. Um, okay. Diha also mentioned she's willing for the next advanced class.
Wow. Good to know
Okay.
that.
Yes.
So
So
then, and then I
for
will also be discussing moderation analysis, multi-group analysis, and moderation analysis.
yeah. So for this one, probably to make, because they also say that if we are more than how many hours, then usually our brain spawns also already got saturated. So probably this
Yeah.
time we will focus until 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Back again to Prof. Edwin and Febri and Bella. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Miss Lydia Edwin. So should we continue to the second exercise or how, Miss?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Maybe we
up to
can
you.
stop
Up to
for
Prof. Edwin.
yeah. Maybe we can
Oh yeah,
stop right
okay.
here because as what you said, we already are saturated. Normally, according to psychology, our attention span is up to 2 hours.
uh,
Yeah, we'll just entertain questions.
yeah, I think it will be better to do it by yourself rather than just looking at this.
And then I will ask again Bella and Febri to demonstrate multi-group analysis. We will have a session before the
Okay,
webinar.
okay, Prof.
Yeah. Any more question? Oh, we have in the chat box. We have 5. Yeah. Okay. So we'll have maybe in the early part of September. No? Early part of September.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we have to stop here, knowing that we are going to plan another session.
Oh no, Prof. Edwin. What I mean is it's a 4 o'clock Jakarta time. It's not a Philippine time.
Not
Oh,
Philippine time.
sorry. So yeah. So that's mean that right now it's still 3:15 in Jakarta time. I know that it's already 4:15 in 4:15 right in Philippines.
Okay.
So
So
actually
you
we
mean I
still
will
have
continue?
yes, we still have
Okay.
45 minutes to do
Oh.
so. Yeah. So
Okay.
at that time, yeah. So I also yeah, this is because of the time difference. Yeah. So if you can
Yeah,
squeeze
sorry.
everything into this 45 minutes, that will be great. Also, so you also explain about the moderator, and yeah, but if we cannot do that, then probably we should have another session. Yeah. So you
Yeah, I
basically you
can do
still
that.
have.
I can do that. Yeah.
Okay, that's
I can do
great.
that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I got mixed up because of this time difference.
Okay. Thank you very much, Fed and Bella. You may now unshare your screen so I can share mine. Thank you. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, so we're done with demonstration of mediation analysis. And then let's start with moderation analysis. Okay. Mine is not running anymore. Okay. Moderation and mediation. Moderation and mediation are two very different ideas. While there are a few similarities between the two analyses that are important to understand, let's talk about mediator and moderator. So we discussed already the mediator. Mediator variable is one that explains the relationship between the independent and the dependent variable. And then the moderator variable is one that influences the strength of relationship between two other variables. So, okay, so let me finish my slide and then I will illustrate it to you separately. Moderation is a way to check whether the third variable influences the strength or direction of the relationship between the independent and dependent variable. So the easy way to remember this is that the moderator variable might change the strength of the relationship. Take note of that. Change the strength of the relationship from strong to moderate, or from nothing or to nothing at all. Yeah. Okay, so multi-group analysis. Oh, by the way, I think I told you already that moderation analysis, a multi-group analysis is actually a moderation analysis. It is called multi-group only when the variables involved are either nominal or ordinal. But if the variables involved, if the variable that you consider here as your moderator is at least interval, then we call it moderator, not multi-group analysis. Yeah, not multi-group analysis. I will explain to you later on. The multi-group analysis allows to test if predefined data groups have significant differences in their group-specific parameters. Okay, so for example, here is the model of the independent variable and the dependent variable. The independent variable is autonomy, and the dependent variables is cognitive engagement. The mediator is skill discrepancy. Now we want to find out whether the effect of autonomy on cognitive engagement is the same with we want to find out whether the effect of autonomy on cognitive engagement with the presence of the mediating variable for female is the same as for males. So in other words, you are trying to find out whether there is a significant difference between the effect of the relationship for female and effect of the relationship for males. So it's just like t-test, but the difference in t-test is, for example, the research question is this: is there a significant difference on cognitive engagement between male and female? So what is statistical treatment you're going to use? T-test, right? Granting that t-test is satisfied with the assumption, because you want to find out whether females and males have the same cognitive engagement. That's t-test. But when I ask the question, is there a significant difference in the effect of autonomy on cognitive engagement between male and female? That is already multi-group analysis. So actually they are just the same, but this time we are trying to find out whether the difference in their effect are the same or not the same. That's multi-group analysis. But when you ask the question, is there a significant difference on the cognitive engagement between male and female? That's t-test. So I hope you get the difference. Huh? So that's multi-group analysis. You want to find out whether they have the same effect. This model is the same for female as well as for male. Okay. So we have example 2. We have this independent set of independent variables. We have the mediator and we have the dependent variable. Yeah, and then when we do the analysis, we ask the question. So this is for the overall sample, no? This includes the male and the female. Yeah, this includes this this model actually includes the male and the female. But what about if we are going to separate them? So one for male, one for female. Then we have to ask the question. We have to, so we do, I mean, we already have the conclusion. There is no significant difference between male and female in the effect. Oh, yeah. I think this is not, oh, I think this is already conclusion, sorry. So the conclusion is, let me see. Yeah, there is. Okay, so there is no significant difference between male and female in the effect of motivation and achievement. This one and this one, there is no significant difference on their effect. Yeah, this is actually t-test for path coefficient. Yeah, actually it's t-test for path coefficient. There is no significant difference between male and female in the effect of SC towards AH, ACH. Where is AC? Somewhere here. So this is practically a multi-group analysis. Yeah, because we are taking the T value upon taking the difference between the effect, we also use T value. Unless you have questions, you can do so now. Because next to this is the demonstration of multi-group analysis. Oh, by the way, sorry. Now, before I demonstrate the multi-group analysis, let me show you first how to report. Yeah, actually, after that, no, after running all of this, what's next? How to write, right? How to report the mediation and moderation analysis. Let's start with, for example, I'm giving you an example. So we have example here. Okay, so we have audit quality. The one that I give you, I think this is the one no, this is different. Audit quality, innovative capability, organizational efficiency, intellectual capital is the mediator. Now, so we see that intellectual capital mediates the effect of audit quality on organizational efficiency, and at the same time, intellectual capital mediates the effect of innovative capability on organizational efficiency. Now, here is how to write it. After this, follows the table. Yeah, mediation, effect of intellectual capital, and the influence of audit quality and innovative capability. Now, here is the path. The path name is audit quality, innovative capability, and organizational efficiency. Okay, so the coefficient in the total effect, the coefficient is 0.395. The indirect effect, this is the total. This is the indirect effect. 0.266. The other one for the, this is the direct effect. 0.266, this one is indirect effect. 0.129. When you add this one is the total effect. Adding this with this is the total effect, 0.395. Yes? Any question?
Okay, Prof. Edwin, I see in Q&A box section, there is a question from Anonymous. Good day. Where can we access the Smart PLS code for 2 months? Thank you. Okay. So I
Gabriel
will,
can
yeah,
can
I
can
will
answer the
explain about
question.
this. So basically, uh, the first thing you can do, you can use 30 days trial in Smart PLS. I already sent the guidelines how to download it to get the 30 days free trial. And then in the end of this month, of the August, maybe in 28th of August 2021, I will email all the attendants to inform about our Smart PLS code for 2 months free subscriptions. So basically, in conclusion, you can use Smart PLS for 3 months ahead. Yeah, so I will inform the code in the end of this August by to your email and also to your WhatsApp contact. So please stay in this webinar until the end, because in the end of this webinar, I will also give to the Zoom chat our evaluation form, so you can fill your details to get your Smart PLS subscription code and also your certificate. Okay, and also I will inform our my contact my contact details. All right. Okay, so you can also contact me through WhatsApp and also through my email. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So any more question? Oh, there's one more.
All right, maybe Miss Yulita want to ask some question.
Uh,
Thank you. Is it okay if I'm asking many questions?
no problem.
Okay, Prof, I would like to ask about the comparison, like you said before, about multi-group analysis that
Uh,
you said like female or male. You compare the result of female
mm,
and male. How
yeah.
about if I want to make a group between generation X, generation net generation, and generation Y, for example? Can I do
Mm.
that just like multi-group analysis?
You can do that. You can do that. Three, you mean three of them?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that.
Okay. So
Uh,
should I put the arrow like the broken arrow in the model, or I just make a square of the model and then I just put broken arrow outside the box?
for moderator.
Yes.
Yeah. If you are writing down if you are writing down your paradigm, you have to reflect it in the paradigm. I'll show you later.
Okay.
I'll show you later.
Okay. So if
Yeah.
I put the age or like income, can I put as a moderator, just like you explained before?
Yeah, you can. You
I see.
can.
I see. I see. So
Uh, it depends. No, it depends. If yeah, you can actually for sure you can do it. But if the age is written actual or spot actual, then there's another way to do that. Not
okay.
multi-group analysis anymore.
I see.
In fact, it's easier. In fact, it's easier to do.
I see. So if I put interval, age interval, and then like income interval, I can put as a moderator, yes, sir.
Yeah, you can in the paradigm you can reflect the moderator.
Good. Okay. I got it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay. Okay, and then this is how we explain, huh? The table is very important because you reflect here the direct effect and the indirect effect. So as a result of direct effect and indirect effect is the total effect. And put the p-value also. And it's there in the result. You can actually uh yeah, it's there already. Yeah, actually. Okay, multi-group analysis. Oh, maybe we are going to I'm going to explain this later because I have not demonstrated multi-group analysis yet. Okay, so let me can we have a 1 minute break because I just would like to go to the comfort room. Just a 1 minute break. Yeah, I will just stop my
Okay.
screen share.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
1 minute.
Okay, no worry, Prof. Edwin. Just
Yeah,
take your
thank you.
time. Yeah. Um, so probably, is there any other questions related to the code?
Okay, yeah. So everyone, like I said before, about the Smart PLS to subscription code, I will just send the code in the end of this August by email and also by WhatsApp. So you can start using first with your 30 days free trial, and then you can continue to use our Smart PLS code for 2 months ahead. So basically, now you can use your Smart PLS until 3 months. And then after this session, finish with Prof. Edwin, I will also give evaluation form. So you can fill the evaluation form to maybe to evaluate our event, and also this is also as your attendance list, so I can send you your certificate and Smart PLS code. Okay, thank you, and we can get back to Prof. Edwin again.
Okay, so let me share my screen again. Uh, okay, wait. Let me, yeah, I'm going to, where's this? Oh, wait. Okay, so I have to, yeah, I'm going to show to you my board. Okay, now, so in the, did you see it? In this
Yes.
paradigm, this is the independent, the IB, this is the DV, and here is the relationship between the IB and the DV. Let's just put mediator aside. Okay, so let's have this one. Huh? This is the mediator. So the mediator is actually pointing to this the arrow of the mediator, moderator, let's call it mode, pointing to this arrow. No? That's the reason why it's pointing to the arrow. Uh, Actually, the moderator variable has two roles. One role is it is an independent variable because of the arrow going here and then going here. And then the second one is it's being a moderator. Now you will see that this is pointing to the to this in this is pointing to this arrow because you want to find out whether the effect actually this one is the effect, huh? The effect. So whether there is a significant difference on their effect. Let's say, for example, if the moderator is gender, so we want to find out whether male and female have different effect on the relationship between independent variable and the dependent variable. So that's what we are going to find out. Now, actually, the equation is very simple. So here is the, oh, let's say we'll put this x, we are going to put this y, and then we are going to put m. So we know that in the regression analysis, this is equal to y is equal to y-intercept a naught plus a1 x. Yeah, no? And involving, there's just this one alone. But if you are going to involve the moderator, the m, so this becomes y is equal to a naught plus A1X plus A2M, because M is also an independent variable, plus A3X times M. This model, plus of course an error. So this is the this is called interaction effect. Interaction effect. So the same thing. The hypothesis is A3 is equal. The hypothesis is that A3 is equal to 0, and the alternative hypothesis is that A3 is not equal to 0. The same with what's here. Now the coefficient of X and the coefficient of M have the same role with this. They're the same. Now, so if you know a little in calculus, let's try to do a little computation of calculus. Let's say derivative. Let's do this now. Taking the derivative of M with respect to X is equal to, this one is constant, so this is 0. This one with respect to X is now A1 plus this is 0, and with respect to X, so you have A3M. Yeah, A3M. Just ignore the error. So actually in mathematics, when you take the derivative of this is actually the slope. This is the slope. So what is the meaning of this? The meaning is the slope. Now the slope is actually can be written as a function of the moderator variable. Yeah, it's a function, as a linear function of a moderator variable. Meaning that the higher is the moderator, the better is the slope. This is what it means. This is a function of the moderator. So it all depends on what is your moderator. Yeah, so that is actually basically the same, but this is general, because if the moderator is nominal or ordinal, although the model is this, but you still have to go through the multi-group analysis, because you cannot multiply in reality, no? In reality, you cannot multiply the two, because this one is nominal, this one is okay, continuous, but multiplying the two will not represent the moderator variable. It should be multi-group analysis. Okay, now let me, okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Oh, sorry, I'm going to, let me, how can I, yeah, sorry. I'm going to, where is my Smart PLS? Here. I'm going to open my Smart PLS. And then, oh, by the way, let me go first to the data. Wait, where did I put it? It's here. Examples. Let's start with example 2. Let me show you the paradigm. Yeah, the paradigm is this. Yeah, this is the paradigm. Here is the independent variables: attitude, thematic anxiety, and then this is the mediator. This is the dependent variable, mathematics performance. And then the gender here serves as moderator. Yeah. is going to mathematics self-efficacy because the mediator is mathematics self-efficacy. And yeah, so you have this. You see? You will see that the gender is pointing to the arrow from independent to mediator. And also pointing to the arrow from mediator to the dependent variable. So it's what I mean here is this one, the arrow is pointing to the arrow. Yeah, okay. So we are going to so let's analyze this. Okay. Okay, so wait. I'm going to drag this one down first. So I can wait. Okay, so just like what Bella did a while ago, I'm going there also. Let's have a new project. I will call it data 2. Was it data 2? Anyway, data 2. And then, okay. Oh, I have data 2 already. Let me see if, yeah. So I will double click this. Then let me go to my file. This one. And then example 2. Yeah, data 2. Okay. CSB. Then I will enter this. Okay, then okay. Okay. And then let me maximize it. Okay, now okay, so let me look at the let me look at the paradigm. Maybe I'm going to divide my screen into 2, and the other one is the paradigm. Maybe I'll just put it here. Yeah. And then let me go to the paradigm. Here is the paradigm. So attitude towards mathematics. I'll just put the paradigm here. So where is the attitude? I coded here. Sorry. I coded here A. Where is attitude? So I'm going to up to 11. Up to 18. Up to 15. There are 15. Okay, so since there are many, maybe I can just hide it. I can just hide it. And then I can rename this attitude. Then what else? Mathematics anxiety. Yeah, anxiety 1. Again, there are many. Okay, so rename anxiety. Maybe we can hide this. Okay, let's hide it here. And then we have social support, maybe. So under social support, the parental support and the teacher support. We'll just make it, where is the parental support? Let's have it here. I'll hide it. And then parent support. And then teacher support. And then let's hide this one. Okay, so let me arrange this. And then we have mathematics self-efficacy. Where is my self-efficacy? Ah, yeah, this one. Here's E1. Self-efficacy. Hide it. And what about the last one, mathematics performance? Here we only have one mathematics performance, and this one is this also serves. This one is the this is a latent variable, because Smart PLS recognize every, for example, mathematics performance recognize it as latent variable in Smart PLS with only one indicators, and that's the mathematics performance. So maybe we can hide this one. So hide, okay. Is there anything else? Okay, maybe we can put it here. And then connect. Okay, so we will connect this. Where's the connector? Connect. And then, so this is in accordance to the paradigm. Okay, so let's clean this one first. It could be possible that this one, some of these are not significant. So let's calculate Bootstrap. Maybe we can make it up to 1,000 only. Okay, just for the sake of demonstration. Or if it will take too long, then we can make it 500. So it's up to you in actual as to whether you put it 500. It depends on the fastness of your computer. Now, attitude, you will see here that these red ones are not telling us that, oh, wait, there's one thing that no, let me do it again. We did not have, you save and save. Save all changes before you exit. Okay. There's one thing. Yeah. Rename. So this is math. Performance. Okay. Okay. Let's run again. Okay, so here, you will see here that parental support and mathematics performance is not related. No effect. So we are going to do it one by one. So we are going to remove the arrow from parental support to math performance. Okay, so let's parent support to math performance. Let's delete this. Then run again. Oh, there's one more. So teacher support with self-efficacy. Teacher support. Oh, my dog is getting angry. Teacher support to self-efficacy, 0.6. Okay, let us. Okay, so let's delete this. Huh? And then next, run again. Oh, there's two more. Attitude, math performance. So attitude, math performance. Attitude, math performance. Delete. And again, I hope this time is already okay. Okay, very nice. It's already okay. Now look at the data again. Yeah, so you will see that the teacher support has a direct effect on math performance. It does not bridge to self-efficacy. So meaning that if one has the support of teachers, then not necessarily performance, it does not bridge to teacher support about performance. Okay, so now let me make this what coefficient p-value. Okay, so p-value. Now granting that they already have, let me see, p-value. Yeah, this okay. Hide. Then show, okay. Hide again. Let me see, this equal, okay. Yeah, it's okay. Hide again. Let me see if this is okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. Hide again. This one, let us see. Yeah, it's okay. So no problem with the indicators. Okay, now let's, so the question, do we have I don't know if we have data for, oh, we have sex. Yeah, we have sex. So maybe we can, yeah, this is what we are going to serve as moderator. Moderator, or we will do multi-group analysis. Now, before that, you go to, you have to go to, now, click the data, your data, txt, like this, so that this would appear. Because if the data is the model, it will not appear. Now, take that on that. So you have to click data, the txt, so that this one will appear. So click generate data group. Okay. Generate data group. Now, next is go to look for the sex or the gender. Where is it now? Let's look for the sex or the gender. Oh, where is it? Oh, yeah, there are two unique values. No? So we are going to click that one and then click OK. And then it generates now. So it means that for, by the way, I coded. So we coded 1 for male and 2 for female. So I will edit this. I will change it to female. Male, sorry, male. And then, okay. And then I will change this also to female. Okay. So we have now. Okay. No problem. So we have already defined our sex as moderator. Then we can proceed now to data, to the model. Okay. Now let's go to calculate. Calculate and then multi-group analysis. See? For here now, because this will not appear if you did not process your sex, your gender. It will not appear here. Now here you have female and male available only because there are just two that we have processed. So let's click female and the other one is male. Now if you have three categories, you can click the three at the same time here. Let's say for your age, for age, and then you have classified age into three. You can click those three here and click those three here also. Yeah, that's the way we do it. Okay, so we have female, we have male, and then run. Simple as that. Okay, so it's running now. Let us wait for the result. Oh, we have already the result. Now let's look at it now. Yeah, this is the final one actually that you are going to interpret. Now before this, let's look at the, what is this? The PLS GMA, this one. PLS MGA, this one. Now before going on with, before looking at this, let's look at Bootstrap Result. Now here is the Bootstrap Result, or maybe we can transfer this to Excel, so we can decipher it very carefully, because this one, look at this, and this one also. Anyways, Okay, anyway, we can just look at it here. Now, this is the path coefficient for female. No? This is the path coefficient for female. The question is anxiety. Oh, I spell it wrongly. Anxiety on performance for female. So not significant here. Not significant. Okay, so this one is for female. Now look at the path coefficient for male. Path coefficient for this one is for male. Yeah, you see? Path coefficient for female, this is the path coefficient for male. Now the question is there a significant difference between the two? Because if there is a significant between the two, then there is a moderation effect. Okay, so let's look at first for female part. Female, for female, not significant, 0.391. For male, 0.306. It is significant. It is significant. The p-value is significant. So meaning that the anxiety on math performance is significant. Is significant for male. So you can say that it is the male that can easily be affected by anxiety. Yeah, here. There is a significant difference. Yeah. And then the question is although the two are not significant, but it doesn't mean that the two are not significant. No. The final arbiter for that is the PLS MGA. But it says here, anxiety on math performance is not the p-value, not significant. So the path coefficient, this path coefficient actually is the difference between the path coefficient of male and path coefficient for female. But the p-value is 0.0. This one. Oh, wait. Which one are we going to? This one, no? Female versus male. This one. Okay. So this one also is female versus male. When you think of two-tailed significant, this is not significant. But if it is just one-tailed significant, it is significant. So for a one-tailed test, right? Let's wait again. Yeah, one-tailed, no? Look at this, one-tailed. And this one, okay, so it means that it's two-tailed. So for one-tailed, it's significant, 0.039. So meaning that there is a significant difference on the effect for male and for female. It means for a one-tailed test, male, look at this, is 0.220. It's actually the difference between, look at this, is the difference between male and female. So female minus male is 0.220. So meaning that this one, or meaning that the female has more, is bigger, the coefficient of female is bigger than the coefficient of male because it's positive, right? Positive. So it is significant. So meaning that the female, if it is for one-tailed test, the female has the tendency to, I was wrong a while ago. The female, coefficient difference, female minus male. So meaning if you subtract this and you see that the difference is positive, it means that bigger. This one is bigger than this, right? So female is bigger. So it means that female is more of the anxiety, the effect of anxiety on performance for female is bigger than the effect of anxiety on math performance for male, because it is significant. But if you are going to base it at two significant level, it's not significant. Because you just divide this into two, and this is the result. Yeah, that's it. And then go to the next one. Oh, for one-tailed, only this one for one-tailed. But for the two-tailed, only this one is significant. Yeah. This one and this, I mean, are significant. So you will see this one is significant. So where is this? So attitude on self-efficacy. So there is a significant difference on the path coefficient between attitude and self-efficacy between male and female. So furthermore, female is better. Attitude to self-efficacy. No? So attitude, then self-efficacy is the effect of attitude on self-efficacy for female is significantly higher than the effect of attitude on self-efficacy for male. So that is the interpretation. Okay, so let's go now to the interpretation. I'll give you an example of the interpretation for moderation. Let's continue our PowerPoint. Here is the PowerPoint now, multi-group analysis. So this is the model. This is the model. And then this is the mediation. This is the multi-group analysis for young and old. Because in this case, the young and old are separated, and that serves as moderator variable. So in this case, the old path coefficient is 0.383, and for the young coefficient is young path coefficient is 0.181. So their difference is negative 0.202. So what does the p-value tell us? That the p-value is 0.196. Is less than 0.06, 0.05. So therefore, not significant. So meaning that there is no significant difference on the, what is this? AQ and OA, on the audit quality and organizational efficiency when they are grouped according to old and young respondent. So that is the meaning. So here are the explanation. So it says here, the study examined the moderating effect of firm age. It's not the, sorry. In this study, the unit of analysis or the respondents are actually firms, not respondents. The respondents actually are firms. So it says here that the study examined the moderating effect of firm age on the relationship between audit quality and organizational efficiency, and between innovative capability and organizational efficiency. So as shown in the above, the study found no significant influence of firm age on the effect of audit quality on organizational efficiency. So you will see that there is no significant difference. That's it. Okay, so next meeting, we are going to demonstrate furthermore, or you can even do it yourself with our guidance. Yeah, we'll have more. We have more. We will have more on demonstration, more on participation next week. So thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, Prof. Edwin. I think yeah, it's really enlightened. Yeah. I mean that imagine what it's gonna be if we need to do a calculation by ourselves without any help from a smart PLS. Yeah. So related to this, yeah, back again to the probably I just share one more. Oh yes, Gabriel also already shared the evaluation form. Yes.
Yeah.
So the link you could see over there.
Yeah. So everyone, if you want to fill our webinar evaluation, you can just look to our Zoom chat. I already submit our link, so you can fill our webinar evaluation, and then you can get your e-certificate. Maybe I will email the certificate and also this recording webinar. Maybe in the next 2 days or 3 days maximum. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Gabriel. I found my slide. So back again, yeah, to the what is the application to the life science company? Yeah, remember this model before? Yeah. So from our finding, our research finding, we know that in Vietnam, for example, in a certain city in Ho Chi Minh, actually the factor that really matters the most is, for example, in here is the effort expectancy. While in other cities in Hanoi, we found it's differently. It's social influence is the factor that affect the most to behavior intention. Remember that Prof. Edwin mentioned about the mediator variable. So that this is the behavior intention is the one that which is the mediator variable. And then by knowing this, a company can concentrate their effort not to all this, but only to certain factors. And then based on the moderator variable analysis, it also found that it's very interesting finding that during COVID, it seems that gender and age is not moderating these kind of things anymore. You know, so that's also a great finding because it means that you can have a smoother transition of smoother acceptance of your user toward
Right.
this new technology. Yeah,
Correct.
so actually that's a very simple things, yeah, to get that, but this is what is called by the fact-based. Yeah, so actually not only life science have their own research, but social also have their own research. But previously it's not really commonly socialized because it's so difficult. Yeah, but now with smart PLS, just a matter of simple click. Yeah, although it still take quite a while. Yeah, thanks for your explanation, Prof. Edwin. Yeah, I also noticed that Gabriel mentioned that there's also some other questions. Yeah, but I think we just keep it. Probably it can be emailed, yeah, to Gabriel later on because right now it's already 4:15. I believe that this should be yeah. Thanks for squeezing it into one compact session. Yeah, Prof. Edwin. I know this is quite a challenge.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank
So
you. So any other things before we close this?
maybe they can also put the topics that they want to have in the
Yeah.
next seminar.
Yes.
They can suggest a topic.
Okay.
I
So
don't know
then,
if it is. I think it's no longer. I don't know if they can. It can be accommodated in your evaluation. The suggestion on what topic
mhm.
would we have next semester? I mean next meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So Yeah, Gabriel, so please feel free, yeah, to probably also to close this session. Yeah, but from my side, I think the best way to experience and master this is that you need to get your hand dirty. You need to have experience also in using this, and that's why in MBM, yeah, we have lots of project. Yeah, so for example, like Bella and Febri, they also part of this internship project, and then they really applied how to implement theory into practice. I think that's the most important things. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the explanation and the presentation, and really and we really appreciate it, Prof. Edwin. Thank you for your time, and also thank you for Miss Lydia for you as a speaker and also for as a moderator in this webinar, and also thank you for Mr. Richard to join with this interview as our head of MBM. And also, I want to thanks to Febri and also Bella as our MBM students that helps this webinar and also create some works about this smart PLS research. Really interesting. And also, we are really thank you for all the participants of this event. Thank you so much for joining with us. And I remind again, don't forget to fill our webinar evaluation form. I already submitted the link in our Zoom chat, so you can get your e-certificate maybe in 2 days or 3 days maximum through email and also through WhatsApp. Okay, in this the end of this session. Once again, thank you so much, Prof. Edwin, and stay
You're
safe
welcome.
and stay healthy, everyone, and see you again in I3L School of Business MBM Master in Biomanagement program. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice weekend.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
weekend,
Nice weekend.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.